Let's talk a little bit about motherhood while I clean up this mess of a kitchen before I have to go pick up my kids. Sometimes we think we aren't doing a good enough job, when the truth of the matter is we are doing the very best we can. And I think we ought to lean into that as moms. Most of the time, we're the default parent and we just get stuff done the best way we know how. We kind of second guess sometimes, like, am I doing this right? Did I make the right decision for this? I just want you to know that with the information you had on hand at the time, you made the best decision that you knew how to make for the best interest of your kids. So give yourself a lot of grace, especially during the holiday season, especially during the school year, especially at night during bedtime and dinner time. Do you see where this is going? Give yourself grace always, always, always. The truth of the matter is that kids really don't see all of the background. They don't see the wondering if you made the best decision. Hell, half the time they are just happy to see mommy, smiling, arms wide open, coming to get them. And it's okay to take a break from time to time. You have to relax. You have to recharge. You have to nurture yourself physically, mentally, spiritually, even splurge every now and then on a new whatever it is you want to splurge on. For me, I find cleaning up therapeutic sometimes. Now, do I keep an immaculate, spotless house every day with 2 6-year-olds running around? Of course not. But what I do is make sure that the place is filled with love, happiness, joy, and lots of laughter. Bellies are always full. Nobody's walking around parched because there's always something to drink. And there's plenty of stuff to do to keep themselves entertained. There's outside in the yard. There are bicycles, there's skateboards. I mean, even if kids don't have all of that, there's puzzles, there's little things that they can do to keep themselves occupied. There's always imagination, there's creativity. You see where I'm going here? Sometimes I feel like as moms, we are way too hard on ourselves. Now, don't get me wrong. There are some moms out there that do the bare minimum, but at the end of the day, I think it's up to us to focus on our momming, and as long as other people's kids aren't in danger, then we have to let them do the best they can, as we realize that not all children grow up in the same way. I think that's what makes society and the world function as it does. As kids grow up, they learn to adjust, they learn from past experiences and past mistakes. And as we know, some kids learn once they are adults from their parents' mistakes. All in all, I think that motherhood is a beautiful journey, one that is to be expected to be filled with highs and lows and all those places in between. What gets us through is a nice support system, community, patience, grace, adaptability, a sense of humor. The list goes on and on. I found myself taking a slightly different approach to raising kids in 2024 and beyond than my parents took with me, and thankfully they're on board. I do a fair bit of talking and explaining to my kids, and they ask questions and I give answers. they're curious and inquisitive, so I don't want to shut that down. So I encourage it. I let them know if there's something you don't understand, ask me why. I tend to give them a heads up on a lot of things that are going on. I use a timer. I use the distraction method sometimes. In short, I've sort of developed this foundational strategy that I parent with. And to be honest, it changes every so often as they grow and become more socially aware. So I think we are doing the best we can as moms. And if you ever feel like you're in a situation where you just don't know where to turn, that's where your community of moms come in. I believe we all need that support. That mom or two that we can run an idea by and run some thoughts by, and not necessarily run our thoughts by them for them to tell us what to do, but just to offer a different perspective. I feel like multiple perspectives is the way to go when moving through motherhood and just any other aspect in life. We tend to think according to what's going on in our own little bubble, and diversity of thought is a good thing, even if it's coming from children, because I'll tell you, kids can teach you a lot if you listen. I'd advise not to shut them down. Let them talk. Sometimes, yes, it seems like they just go on and on and on and on and on. And at some point, yes, we do need a break. I'll be the first to say. But let them talk, because if you listen to children and they talk, you can really pick up on how they're feeling about things sometimes that they wouldn't ordinarily just come out and discuss. So the next time you're cleaning the kitchen or sweeping the floor or vacuuming upstairs or whatever it is you're doing, and your mind starts to wander and kind of think about the kids and how you're parenting and whether or not you're doing a good job, usually the answer is yes, because good is relative, right? There's no set definition of what good parenting looks like. I'm not going to run the old parenting manual line because we've all heard it. We all know that it's true. And therefore, we all develop our own way of getting through the day with our kids, getting through the night with our children, getting them up and out of the bed the next day, and whatever else it is they need from us. So I just want you to take some time today, sit down and give yourself a big old pat on the back, because you're doing the very best that you can. And if you know you're not doing the very best that you can, I'm sure you know what you need to do to fix it. My goal is to raise happy, whole, healthy children that are kind and also advocate for themselves. Mamas, we got this.